Okay, ready? So welcome to the interview with Gary and Ryan. There's a reason why we're playing the final countdown music. So welcome to Gary and Ryan. Let me turn this up now. Both wearing their Manchester United tops. Not really. Sorry, yeah, Liverpool. So I got my. I thought I put my my England cricket top on, which Gary gave me.
In Scotland. He won't go outside with it on, guys. He won't go outside with it on.
It's true, but it is blue. So as a quick glance, they might think it's Scotland top. So
Doubt it.
Yeah. So how are you both doing, lads? Are you okay? Yeah.
Yeah, we're all good, thanks, mate. Considering, so it got so bored that we ended up listening to yours and Ryan's World 11 yesterday, and thought only be right to put our point of view across.
Absolutely, 100% agree with that. Well done. I was hoping I'd bore a few people and force them into action. So good. I'm happy about it.
And the great thing about all these sort of things with football is it's all a matter of opinion. Nobody's right and nobody's wrong. So definitely. That's the great thing about it.
It's true, isn't it? Because I'm sure if my granddad was here, my dad was here, he'd disagree with us as well as black players. So in fact, they definitely would. So that's the beauty about football, isn't it? So I don't know if you've seen as well. Match of the Day is actually on tonight. Have you seen that?
All right, what are you doing on that then?
Apparently, there's going to be Alan Shearer, Ian Wright, and Gary Lineker, and they're going to be talking about best Premier League captains. So they're all going to be. So that might be worth a watch. I'm looking forward to see that.
Henderson was the best.
Sorry, right?
I saw that somewhere, and there was a famous person that said Henderson was the best Premier League captain of all time. I was like, no. Well, he's better than Gerrard because he's going to win a league. So. That's
true. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's it. Once he does actually lift the Premier League, then that elevates him straight away, doesn't it? So, so go on then. Do you want to start with your what team are you going to pick first?
Right, we're going to go for the World 11 first.
Okay.
It's a team that me and Ryan have picked between us. So you're going to see some older players from my generation, and you're going to see a few players from both our generations or Ryan's time of seeing it, because some of the ones I'm going to put in, Ryan never even saw play. So it's only fair that he puts in, and some of them from nowadays still deserve to be in this World 11. So we're going to start with a goalkeeper. This guy for me, Ryan sort of agreed with me, was saying back to come to an agreement on this. This goalkeeper for me completely gets overlooked when we talk about a World 11. I've never ever heard him mentioned in the greatest world teams of all time. This is a guy with 167 caps, 5 league titles, 3 Champions Leagues, a World Cup, and 2 Euros. It's Iker Casillas of Real Madrid.
Wow, yeah.
He never gets mentioned when it comes to, and look at those honours. I mean, 167 caps is something for a start. Huge. So for us, would be our goalkeeper.
Interesting. Why do you think he never gets mentioned? Because that's a good point, actually.
I mean, if you look at those honours, that's incredible, isn't it? 5 La Ligas, 3 Champions League, a World Cup, and 2 European Championships. I mean, it's It's probably the most decorated goalkeeper in history.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know why he gets overlooked. Is it because of the defence in front of him, or don't get me wrong, I'm no fan of Real Madrid, so they're not one of my favourite clubs at all. But when you've got to be talking about an all-time 11, he has to be in it for me.
So I
can't think of another goalkeeper that could even get close to that, to be honest.
Did Ray Clements or Grobbelaar come into your thinking at all?
No English goalkeeper. I have to give it, someone you mentioned yesterday would have sort of got half in there for me, would have been Dino Zoff.
I don't remember him personally.
I mean, yeah, obviously me and John remember he was a great goalkeeper. I mean, I suppose you've got to bring Buffon into the equation.
Yeah.
Just to put in some other guy. I know you and Ryan picked Van der Sar and Schmeichel with your unbiased opinions. But
True. Yeah. But did you see my reasoning on Schmeichel, though? Because I think he carried Denmark in the Euros. So,
I mean, I thought that was a really good point. I'd forgotten about that. and it fully justified your reason for putting him in there.
I originally said Schmeichel, but then he got me around to thinking about Casillas.
I'm shocked that you didn't put David James in there. But
Or Brad Friedel.
Dirty Dudek.
Although David James was good at Portsmouth, he did really well at Portsmouth.
Yeah, he wasn't no good at Liverpool, was he?
Not the best.
Right, we're going to go on to the defence. We'll be here for about 6 hours. We've got to let Ryan say the next
What
one then.
formation have you gone for?
Sorry?
What formation?
We've gone for 4-3-3.
Okay.
Same as me.
At right back, we've gone for, in my opinion, the best fullback ever to play the game, which is Cafu.
Ooh, forgot about him. Yep.
Won the World Cup twice, won the Copa America 2 times, and played 142 caps for Brazil.
Yeah.
I noticed, Ryan, you picked Zanetti, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I like Zanetti. Zanetti's a very good fullback.
Yeah. So we got Cafu at right back, and I totally agree with Ryan. In my opinion, I think he's the greatest right back that's ever lived. So, captain of 2 World Cup winning teams as well. At right back, there aren't many. I don't think anybody else at right back has ever done that before. So he's won everything in the game. Right, we'll go to one of my centre backs now. This guy, I cannot stand him at all. But he has to be, in my opinion, probably the greatest central defender of all time. 170 caps for his country, 4 titles, 4 Champions Leagues, a World Cup and 2 Euros. Got to be Sergio Ramos.
Yeah.
Sergio Ramos for me has to be. I don't like the guy, as I say, at all for obvious reasons. A couple of years ago, right, with what he did to Salah in the final, but that is an incredible achievement to play 170 caps for your country as an outfield player.
Yeah.
And be that good for that long.
Yeah.
And win everything he's won everything in the game there is to win, and is a brilliant defender and an inspirational leader. Has to be Sergio Ramos.
I will just say to the people who are going to watch this video later that with Gary you'll get the unbiased opinion, even though, because Gary's a Liverpool supporter, so if you don't realise why he said that, obviously there's a bit of history there between him and the player and Liverpool, but Gary tells the truth. So thank you, Gary.
And then next to him,
Ryan doesn't know.
Ryan did question that one, but
I can imagine.
Well, we went for next to him, which is someone I picked, is Alessandro Nesta.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because in my opinion, he is probably the best centre back I've ever watched.
Part of that great Milan team, 2005. And they won multiple Serie A's, Champions Leagues. I think he's won the World Cup as well. I'm not 100% sure. I think Maldini must have won the World Cup.
Yeah. Good player, yeah. I forgot. Yeah. It's amazing.
But Brian's going to play him at centre back, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to play him at centre back next to Sergio Ramos.
Okay.
So to left back, we're going to put someone at left back that, John, you put in your team is going to be Paolo Maldini. He has to be one of the greatest defenders of all time. 5 Champions Leagues, 7 Serie A titles, 126 caps for his country. An absolute rock at the back. With Maldini and Ramos at the back, you ain't scoring no goals.
I played Maldini as a centre-back instead of a left-back.
Yeah, Ryan wanted to get Nesta and Maldini in the same team. So we sort of Ryan sort of told me that Maldini would play at left-back at times. So
yeah. I'll just add something quickly about this. I hope my memory is not messing me about, but I went to watch in 1990, I think it was. I saw England play Italy in a friendly at Wembley when Chris Waddle was really playing good for England. The game finished 0-0, and I'm pretty sure Maldini was their left back, and Waddle roasted him for the whole game. England didn't score, but Maldini, it was a great match to watch. Obviously, England didn't win. It was a 0-0 draw in the end, but I think that's the only game I've ever seen Maldini look a bit more human. But still, they didn't lose. They didn't concede. So that shows what a good player he was.
Yeah. Someone else that we didn't have, but I think is a brilliant defender, was Fabio Cannavaro.
Yeah.
Cannavaro was a very, very good defender as well.
And we do want to put into the conversation, Ryan took me out of Roberto Carlos, and for right reason. I know you had him, John, in yours. Did you have him as well, Ryan?
Yeah, I had him in mine.
It was Ryan, I think.
Yeah,
it was Ryan, sorry. The reason Ryan took me out of it, and I actually came round to his way of thinking, he was very, very good at going forward, but he did have some frailties at defending.
Yeah.
So I thought to get in a world 11, you can't be weak in any area. So that was our opinion, that Roberto Carlos would have to probably go on the bench. So
fair enough. That's a good team. Some good players there. I think the only player we not agreed upon, but we had in our team was Maldini. So, but you notice there's a lot of Italians in both of our teams.
Yes.
Defensive wise, the Italians are all famous for it, aren't they?
Absolutely. Yep. They know how to defend.
Right, we're going to move into midfield now. I think it's Ryan's. That was me, is it? Okay, going up from a player from my generation or mine and John's generation. I think you had him in your team, John. It has to be Johan Cruyff.
Yeah, I had him in my team.
As well. Didn't win the World Cup, unfortunately. Obviously, Holland never won the World Cup, but he played for Ajax, Barcelona, and Feyenoord. He won 10 major leagues and the Ballon d'Or 3 times. So in that time, it was very difficult to win these type of things. So and an absolute genius and a great player to watch as well, Johan Cruyff. So he gets into our midfield.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, Johan Cruyff was an amazing player.
The next one is a player who you both absolutely love because he's one of your best players ever to play at your club, which is Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh, well done, guys. Yeah.
Wait, where are you playing him?
Cristiano, let's be honest. Do we have to go through his honours? 6 top leagues, Euro 2016, 5 Champions Leagues, 1,000 appearances, 700 goals, 5 Ballon d'Ors, and 160 caps for his country. Probably one of the greatest footballers of all time.
Unfortunately.
I love the way Gary's not really prepared for this.
Well, no, you've got to have facts in front of you.
Yeah, definitely.
Put an argument across, you've got to have some facts in front of you. So
absolutely.
Right.
No, you can't argue with that.
This next guy holding central midfield, I cannot believe neither of you had him in your team. And when we say his name, I think you might really think to yourselves, we may have made a boo-boo.
Don't say his name. The French guy.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought about that afterwards. That he played for Chelsea, didn't he? Desai.
No.
Oh, go on.
Much better. Go on in.
In my opinion, apart from Messi, Pele, Maradona, and Ronaldo, the greatest footballer ever to live. Zinedine Zidane.
Oh yeah. Oh,
you see? I tell you, you forgot. That was why I said on my message to you earlier, there were a few surprising omissions. I cannot believe you cannot have Zinedine Zidane in the World 11 of all time. 108 caps, World Cup 98, 2 Serie A's and a La Liga, and the Euro 2000 as well. Absolute genius on the pitch.
Definitely.
Absolute genius. He was the first person I put in midfield before Ronaldo and Cruyff. For me, he's the greatest midfielder who ever lived in my lifetime. Let me put it like that.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
We were very surprised that neither of you had Zidane. So.
Very surprised that I never even thought of him. That's terrible, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's what this is about, you see, isn't it? Yeah. It's about, finding out these other things from other people. Right, now we're going to go to a front three.
There's no surprises really with the front three.
Not really, is there? But anyway.
So the first one is Messi.
Yep.
On the right.
Yeah. Don't need to really go through his honours, do we? Ballon d'Or 6 times, La Liga 10 times, Champions League 4 times, World Club Cup 3 times, 112 caps for his country, but never won the World Cup. As you know, he was an Argentinian, so that's the only thing missing from his portfolio.
Yeah.
So we've got Messi. Then we're going to put Maradona on the other side as well. Again, not my favourite player in the world ever for obvious reasons.
Yeah, same here.
Cheated us out of a World Cup semi-final or quarter-final. But in my opinion, in that game, he did score the best goal of all time. In my opinion, that is the greatest goal ever scored, and it was against my country. So, absolute genius. The guy, there's nothing more you can say about the man. He, like you said, John, yes, in yours yesterday, he took them to that 86 World Cup by himself.
Yeah.
And that is the sign of an absolute genius.
Yeah.
You can lift the team on your own. And so we've got Maradona, Messi, and of course, Ryan, I'll tell you the last one to fill in up.
It's got to be Pele.
Yeah. definitely. Can't argue with any of those players, really.
Sorry?
Can't argue with any of those.
No, it's a pretty strong team. But the only thing I wanted to do, and again, John, you touched on it yesterday, and you're absolutely right in what you said, but I couldn't get a German in there. You're absolutely right. It's almost beyond belief that a country that's won the World Cup, 4 times, and you can't manage to get a German in there.
Do you think it's because I thought about this a bit, do you think it's because collectively they're such a good unit, they're such a good team, but individually they don't they don't have the Maradonas, the Pelés, the Cruyffs. Okay, they've had Beckenbauer and some, don't get me wrong, they're brilliant players, but they don't really push flair as much, do they? They push like working as a unit and efficiency, and they're really good at it, don't get me wrong. So but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Schweinsteiger. she came in just flashing up Bastian Schweinsteiger in front of us, but he played for Man United, so we can't have it.
So you didn't put any English players in there then?
No English players.
No Liverpool players either.
No, because we're useless. So
enough.
that was our World 11. Hope the other guys watching might provoke some thought now about World 11s.
Yeah.
So shall we move on to your Premier League 11?
Yeah. Now I've got a funny feeling we cut off in 3 minutes. If we do, we'll just come back. Should we close it and then restart it again? Or
No, why would we?
So I think it shuts off after 20 minutes. Okay, yeah, carry on. We'll carry on. If suddenly we cut off, we'll come back in again. So,
all right.
But yeah, go on. Premier League 11. And this will be interesting.
All right. So we could do this together, couldn't we? We could both reveal our goalkeepers, and then we could both reveal.
Yeah. I will just say, on my one, because I am biased, I've got to admit, I've done this one with no Manchester United players because I didn't want to be, 8 Man United players in there. So I've done my one without any Manchester United players just to see what you guys think. So go on, who's your keeper first?
Well, we've touched on him earlier, and it has to be Peter Schmeichel, doesn't it? We both were immediately said that.
Yeah. Both
of us together this morning. The first person we both said was Peter Schmeichel. For us, he's the best keeper ever to play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So there is another one we thought might get somewhere near him, but only one other we thought. So
who's that?
Petr Cech.
Yeah, I've put Seaman or Cech.
Yeah.
So because Seaman, I know he wasn't. He's not going to get in any World 11s, but he was really good for Arsenal. But I think that partly that was the fact that they had a really good defence as well. So, but yeah, all right. I would have put Schmeichel as well, to be fair, but obviously I've gone with no United players. So
yeah.
Okay, what about defenders?
Okay, Ryan going to go next.
Right back, probably the player I hate the most to ever play in the Premier League, Gary Neville.
He's lovely. What are you talking about?
So you may have noticed that's 2 Man United players out of 2 that 2 Liverpool fans have picked.
Yeah.
And I put Gary Neville's name forward straight away as well.
Yeah, both of us thought Gary Neville. With his honours, he's won. He's done it all. He's played at the top level. And as a pundit, I really like him as well. So
he's very good. He's like you, Gary. He's honest.
You've got to be honest, don't you?
The problem is at right back, there hasn't really been that many great players.
I agree, actually. You've had to come up with somebody different, so that might be quite interesting.
Well, I've gone with 3 at the back. So do you want to know my 3 at the back? Bearing in mind I haven't picked any United players. I've gone with, and I haven't gone with like a right back, left back traditionally. I've gone with who I think are the 3 best defenders. I picked 4 because I couldn't really decide the last one, but it's between John Terry, Tony Adams, Van Dijk or Company.
Yep.
So
a pretty good choice that.
Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty
good. I
good.
would swap out Company for John Terry.
Ooh.
So who would you leave out, Ryan?
John Terry.
No, you put him in.
No, John Terry's already in. No, I put in Company for John Terry.
Wow.
John Terry's won it all, though, isn't he, in England, in the Premier League? It's hard because they're all brilliant players. Like,
and who's Adams?
Tony Adams. Gary, who's Tony Adams? Explain.
Who's Tony Adams? Well, he would have been I think in my team, in fact, he was the first team I wrote down. He was in it, but Ryan managed to talk me out, and for the reasons.
I know why.
I'll tell you in a minute. And I actually agree with him. Or he'll tell you in a minute, and I'll agree with him.
Well, I can see a picture of a man behind you that would put him in.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Kevin.
Yeah. Yes. Well, it'll be best Arsenal 11 rather than.
I was going to say their back four would be Lee Dixon, Martin Keown, Tony Adams, and Winterburn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Right, so we're going to go for a 4-3-3 here. So we're going to have a left back. So we've got a right with no centre backs. We've told you as yet. Left back for us, who've only been one, who's really done it all at that level, and for us, it's Ashley Cole.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Chelsea.
Wow.
So for us, Ashley Cole has to be left back.
Yeah.
In the Premier League.
What a player! Brilliant player.
Yeah. So who else? We've got two others. Right, we've got two centre backs. That's one of them, Ryan, who's I'm a little bit surprised with your call on company there, because we've gone for John Terry. For me, it's body on the line stuff from that guy.
Yeah.
He would put his body on his line for his team, and he epitomises everything I look for in a footballer: passion, leadership, skill, and a die-hard gives 100% the whole match. So for us, John Terry was going to be one of our centre backs.
He's a winner, isn't he? He's a winner.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Go on, Ryan. You can explain the reasonings for this one. The other centre back.
You've decided. You told me I talked you out of it, but this was your decision. I
suppose it was.
Now, I didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah. The first touch of a Liverpool player, we're going to go for Virgil van Dijk. Purely and simply, and this is our reasoning, he hasn't done it all. He hasn't won it all, right? So he can't, but he is a leader. And this is the God's honest truth. I have never seen a defender make the game look as easy as what Virgil van Dijk does at any level of any football ever. I've never seen a defender so calm and so collected and so good as him. Yeah. So even though he hasn't done it all, for me, he has to be there. Has to be.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And also, I can't remember what that stat is exactly, but was it you'll know? He's had, was it nobody's dribbled past him or something in a year?
I have no. They didn't last.
Oh, that's pretty good though, isn't it? In the Premier League,
it went a whole year without getting dribbled past.
Yeah, but that's what a player. No, he is really good. And I'll tell you what, as a Man United fan, I'll tell you why I think he should be in it. Because obviously I wouldn't pick him normally, but being honest, being unbiased, he's made the difference for you this year and last year.
That's what I was going to say. I forgot to add that bit.
Jordan Henderson's gone off.
Yeah, but Van Dijk, you always had a bit of not a soft underbelly, but you're solid now. You're solid now. You're really hard to beat now, and that's made the difference, I think.
Yeah.
And it's because of him, and the goalie as well is good.
Yeah, Alisson's good, isn't
he? Whatever his name is.
Unlike
We're not as good as Schmeichel.
No, so far.
So we're going to go into midfield now. We've got three in midfield. This was really hard, the midfield. Very, very, very hard. You want us to go first, or are you going to go first?
Can I go first? Because I'll tell you, because I think you'll like it, what I've done. I've gone for 4 because I had 3-4-3. So I'll put in Gerrard.
Right.
I think you like that. Fair enough.
Yep.
He's a brilliant player. I know he didn't win the Premier League, but that, I don't think it's because of him. I mean, all around him, if you know what I mean. He was brilliant.
Yeah.
I also think on that point, England never used him, Scholes and Lampard properly, because they should have been brilliant with a midfield three of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just my opinion. So Gerrard, De Bruyne, Vieira, and Ryan doesn't agree with me on this one. I put Hazard in.
Wow.
Yeah.
We never even mentioned Eden Hazard, have we?
I personally don't think Hazard is the best left winger the Premier League's ever had.
No, but I've not picked United players, so I didn't pick Giggs.
But there is Ryan Giggs. Yeah.
I can't think of anybody else, but personally, I don't think I would choose Hazard. I think I would just keep on looking.
But again, if you look at what he's won with Chelsea, I know he's not doing amazing at the moment, but what he's won with Chelsea, and he did light up the Premier League every time he played, pretty much. But in my opinion,
He was an exciting player to watch in the Premier League when he was there.
oh yeah.
He was an incredible footballer. I
The
can't
ball was
believe.
glued to his feet, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Can't even believe that me or Ryan didn't even mention him. Yeah, very good point. So that's your 4, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're nearly agreeing with you on this then. So we've got Patrick Vieira as a holding player, Steven Gerrard, and you could say the last one, Ryan, because they weren't allowed to put him in, were they?
we have Paul Scholes.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Because in my opinion, he's the best passer of football I've ever watched.
Yeah. So you didn't go for Roy Keane?
We were close to.
Well, I told you this was hard.
Yeah.
Didn't go for Frank Lampard either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's very, very, very difficult. This, but we thought a midfield. We had Vieira in that holding position in front of the back 4. Then Gerrard and Scholes just spraying the ball around. It would be some team that, I think.
Oh yeah. Definitely. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Good choices. Vieira. What a player.
For me, he was slightly better than Roy Keane. I did like Roy Keane a lot, and in fact, he features on our list of discussion, didn't he, Roy Keane? But we thought, for me and Ryan, both sort of came to the thing that was Vieira. I mean, we've already got 3 United players in there anyway. So.
Exactly, yeah. You don't want to be accused of being closet United fans, do you? You're closet United fans. Brilliant. What about your strikers then?
Go on then, Ryan.
We've got another United player on the right. We go with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Ex-United player.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Can't argue with that.
No, I mean, he's done it all, hasn't he? As I said before, one of the greatest footballers in history. So he has to be in the world. He has to be in the Premier League 11. Has to be.
Yeah.
Then we put on the left, in my opinion, this guy is the greatest player ever to play in the Premier League, in my opinion. The ability to turn a game on his own, done it all, except in Europe, but in the Premier League, he done everything. And I was absolutely petrified whenever we played him was Thierry Henry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolute class player.
Yeah.
And he did start his career out on the left slightly. So
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
you know, if you're playing a front 3 with Ronaldo on the right, Henry on the left, and the guy we're going to put in the middle will be pretty deadly, I should think. So, yeah.
I think the striker's probably the greatest goal scorer ever to brace the Premier League, really, isn't he? Probably Alan Shearer.
Yeah.
That's almost the exact same as yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll tell you ours in a minute. It's almost the
Imagine, yeah.
same. And obviously that leaves out Rooney, Michael Owen.
Well, I'm gonna read a list of players that we discussed that didn't actually get into this team at all, just to give you some idea. So we had Petr Cech, Tony Adams, Gianfranco Zola, Sergio Aguero, Ryan Giggs, Roy Keane, Eric Cantona, Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba, Andy Cole, Ian Wright, Wayne Rooney, Nemanja Vidic, Michael Owen, David Beckham, and Eden Hazard. Now you've mentioned him, and Dennis Bergkamp. Now what a load of players that is not to get in the team.
Yeah, we could almost.
I mean,
make
we could get
teams.
David Beckham in the team. That's how. You know, probably one of the greatest English players of all time. We couldn't even get Beckham in the team as much as we tried.
Yeah,
we couldn't get him in.
Did you see yesterday? I know you haven't picked your England team, and this is jumping a bit, but I put John Barnes in my greatest England team. Did you see that?
I saw that.
What did you think of that, Gary?
I don't really remember. I don't remember John Barnes, so I can't really comment.
Now I'm going to contradict myself a bit here because for Liverpool he was always amazing. England,
yeah, I agree.
I think the proof, my opinion, is that the reason why we know he's such a great player, England have never really replaced him, have they? Who's played left wing since then? Really consistently?
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah.
So that's why I put him in my greatest England team, because we only realise how good he is since he's gone. In my opinion.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Because when he used to play against us, he'd always do well. But for England, no. But he still did some good things. But yeah, anyway, sorry, I know we've changed the subject a bit anyway. But
So who are you going for up front then? It sounds pretty much similar.
yeah, I put in brackets Zola because I did like Zola, but my actual three, obviously without any United players, I'd put Henry, Shearer, and Suarez. Funny enough.
Oh,
Now,
interesting.
Suarez, I don't like him at all.
No, quite.
But and not even just because he played for Liverpool, because he used to bite people a lot. But and now I've gone vegetarian. I don't believe in biting people. But I've got to be fair. Brilliant player. When he was concentrating on football, some of the things he did and the goals he scored, and he's always a threat, and a very, very good striker. Goal scorer. He's still doing it for Barcelona as well. So yeah, I think that brilliant. And obviously Shearer, like you said, you can't really, I think he is the greatest Premier League scorer. Isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's got the most goals in Premier League history.
He's got to be in it then, hasn't he? Yeah. So
I'm not playing a particularly strong team either. If you think about it.
Yeah.
He never really hit the heights for England, though. Shearer, really.
Yeah.
Well, Euro 96. Euro 96, he was good, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't think England ever had a good team around him, John, did they?
Not
really.
Not really. It's a shame that Shearer didn't come a little bit later when Beckham and all that were really established.
Yeah.
He'd have got more goals then, but well, he did still get a lot, didn't he? But funny enough, I can remember Shearer, his debut against, I think it was Arsenal for Southampton. He scored a hat trick, didn't he? Do you remember?
Right, did he?
Yeah, and that was Arsenal had good. I don't know if that was the Arsenal under Wenger or George Graham. I think it was under George Graham, and they were similar to under Wenger, that they were miserly in defence. So Shearer playing for Southampton, okay, they're a good team, but they're not Chelsea or Liverpool. You know what I mean? And he scored a hat trick, so that shows you what a good player he was. But yeah, I know what you mean for England. I'm still thinking Euro 96. We could have won that,
Big chance, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, like the World Cup last time was a big chance as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was interesting because I actually put an article on LinkedIn about that before the World Cup, about the November before, saying that, in my opinion, Southgate should go for like younger players and give it a go, and he did, and we got to the semi-finals. Yeah. Now I'm not saying it's because of me, but
it was.
Yeah, it was because of me, But no, but yeah. And on that point, I like Southgate because he picks players that are on form.
Yeah,
I like that. He doesn't.
Yeah.
The old managers like Ericsson, I liked as well, but he tended to stick to all his favourites all the time. Whereas Southgate, if you're playing well, doesn't matter who you play for. You could play for Crewe Alexandria. Yeah. If you're playing well enough, you'll play for England, and I like that. I think that's great.
I agree. Yes, I agree. So who would you have? So I've told you my greatest Premier League player of all time, in my opinion, Thierry Henry. So who would be your threes, guys?
Go on, you go first, Ryan.
Wait, greatest Premier League player of all time.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the greatest? Surely it could be someone who's in your 11.
I know mine, because he's won it the most than anyone has ever done. Ryan Giggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're allowed to pick United players for this one, Ryan, obviously. Yeah. You can't have a...
Yeah, I think Ryan Giggs as well.
He's won it, he won it 13 times, I think, or something?
13 times, wasn't it? Yeah.
Now that, come on, that's great, isn't it? So.
Oh, it's just fantastic, isn't it?
I don't think I'll ever be beaten. Sorry, Ryan?
I'm going to be a little bit biased myself.
Gerrard.
I'm going to say, in my opinion, Steven Gerrard is
the yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah.
He's won it no time.
But I know why you've done that, and what a player he was a fantastic player.
Partly because if you look at the teams he played in, he didn't have a single good player with him. Not even just decent. They were all rubbish, really. Especially when we won the 2005 Champions League.
Yeah.
We had a really, really bad team, and Gerrard lifted the whole team on his own.
See, I'm going to liken Gerrard to Brian Robson a bit, because I think the similarities. When I was younger in the 80s, United weren't that great. They were okay, but Robson carried United, and I think he carried England in the 80s as well. And I think Gerrard probably did the same for Liverpool.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I can see why.
Well, that's too
I love
many.
Robson, so.
Yeah. Well, I lean towards Thierry Henry at the same time. I think Thierry Henry was an absolutely incredible footballer.
Yeah. One thing.
I don't remember enough about Thierry Henry. Is my only problem.
Say again, Ryan. Sorry.
I don't really remember Thierry Henry that much when I was younger.
Yeah.
Which is why I wouldn't say him.
He was quality though, wasn't he, Gary?
Yeah, yeah.
And what about you, Ryan?
Yeah.
For what?
So who's your greatest? You said Giggs as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now Giggs, funny because Giggs started off whoop, then he kind of went a bit dippy, didn't he? But then but even when he went a bit dip, he still won things.
Yeah.
And then he got good again. What about your favourite Premier League goal?
Oh crikey! The Aguero goal. Yeah, by far. Yeah, it's got to be, isn't it? I think that's probably the most memorable. But I suppose Dennis Bergkamp's one against Newcastle, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean,
was that the one when he pirouetted round sort of thing, took it over the player, and someone said that was a fluke.
One from the halfway line.
Yeah.
That was a great goal. But
My
I think that
my favourite actually, I don't know if it counts actually because it's in the FA Cup. It was against Arsenal, Giggs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's FA Cup, isn't it? So
yeah.
But that was my favourite one.
That run was crazy
because it was against all the really good Arsenal players as well.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The way he ran from like our
it's
own
all about Aguero.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever celebrated a goal that much in my life. And it wasn't even a little goal.
You know, I said earlier that I think that Liverpool should be awarded the league. I changed my mind.
You've won enough Premier Leagues anyway, for goodness sake.
It's true. Oh, brilliant. Well, I'll tell you what. That's good. I think, so all your teams, all your players have picked fantastic. I think I appreciate your hard work there. I think should we stop the interview and we'll have a little chat in a minute? And but brilliant. I would like though. I know if you don't mind, I'd be fascinated to see your Liverpool teams of all time.
All right. Okay.
So, because I'll tell you why I say that. When I did my Manchester United one, I struggled on that a lot because obviously you're kind of tugging with your heartstrings a bit because there's players you love and there's players you think should I put him in it because so it'd be quite interesting. And I think you'll find that quite hard.
I'll tell you why it'd be even a bit more trickier being Liverpool fans, especially for someone like Ryan, because all the teams he's grown up with were basically rubbish. Now they've built a team on the verge of doing great things, winning Champions Leagues, winning leagues.
Yeah.
Surely Ryan is going to be pushed towards picking the modern day team almost because who in his lifetime has played, as well as Robertson at left back, shall we argue, or Trent at right back, or in goal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's good. I mean, I've got that experience and knowledge of seeing them when they used to win the league year in, year out, as you'll remember, John. So
you've got more. Yeah, you've got choices such as Rush, Highway, Dalglish, Keegan.
Yeah.
Ray Clement.
Exactly.
So you've got some good players: Phil Thompson, Alan Hansen. There's
Neil,
a lot.
Alan Kennedy, Ray Kennedy, Terry McDermott. Blame Souness. Yeah.
You should have a sub as well, and then put Fairclough as your super sub.
Souness against Roy Keane. You imagine that?
Yeah. Oh.
Huh?
That'd be a bloodbath, wouldn't it?
Yeah. They're bad enough when they're in a football studio, aren't they, the pair of them?
That is funny. I think they've done that on purpose, haven't they? So.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Souness has mellowed a lot, hasn't he? Because obviously he's older now and that. But yeah, he was a nutter on the pitch, wasn't he? Oh my God.
But they just come across, even when you see them in the studio, that they're both looking for a fight. I don't know how you see them, but they both look like they're looking for a fight all the time.
I know. Roy Keane makes me laugh. But again, I like him because he's honest. And I think a lot of it, he does it on purpose for a bit of effect, I've just read his book, actually, and he's quite funny in that. He's got quite a good sense of humour. And I think he comes across wrong. I think people misunderstand him a bit, I think, obviously, he demands the best, doesn't he? Like, apparently, in Gary Neville's book, he said that when once, I think it was Gary Neville, put a pass wrong in a training, like 5-a-side, and Keane slaughtered him and said, "What's this is Man United. We're not expecting rubbish standards like that." And Gary Neville was like, "It's 5-a-side against like Fergie and the coaches, But that's kind of what he was like, He just wouldn't accept second best. So
no, a born winner, mate.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys. Really appreciate your hard work there, and we'll post it.
It's been a fun thing to do. It's killed us. Us a couple of 3 hours.
Yeah.
For us, so
I appreciate you doing this because no one else bothered.
But if you do want to come on the show and talk about your favourite XI, private message my dad.
Yeah, and also Gary, as I've got my cricket top on, can I quickly ask you about your cricket and rugby opinion? Because obviously the rugby Six Nations has stopped and the cricket tour's off. What do you reckon about that?
Well, unfortunately, I think it's the only thing they can do, mate. I don't think there's any option in the current state of the world's in. So, unfortunately, I mean, listen, I was due to go to Italy myself last weekend.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I've actually suffered at it firsthand. So we was on the verge of seeing England probably win a Six Nations, or hopefully win a Six Nations. It was sort of taken from our hands. But hopefully they'll replay it later in the year, and the tickets will still be valid, and we can see it then. But it takes a lot of the edge off of the tournament itself, because, for example, Italy have still got 2 games to play. Ireland have still got 2 games to play. So it's a bit of a thing of how you're going to get the teams up to play one game, most of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you know what I mean? Because they've all got their schedules with their clubs and all the rest of it still.
I think England did well, didn't they, after losing the first game against France? They bounced back really well.
To beat Ireland and Wales at home was very, very good.
Yeah.
And touching on the cricket, I've heard that they've offered England to go to the West Indies and play the tour there. Because West Indies were due to tour England. But the West Indies have offered them the option of going and playing the Test series in the West Indies.
What? How come? Is it not so bad over there, the virus?
Yeah, but it's not so bad there, or something like that. So that's an option. So at least there still be cricket played, and now there's obligations to play these matches because it's part of the World Test Championship, which lasts for 2 years. So if the games get null and void, it buggers up the whole of that tournament.
Yeah,
that's a 2-year-long tournament. So it's going to make a bit of a mess of that. But listen, the only sensible thing for everyone to do at the moment is stop all these sporting events, as much as we all hate it because we're all indoors, twiddling our thumbs and looking at 4 walls, and we'd love to be watching football and cricket and rugby. Of course we would, but unfortunately the rest of the world's in it the same as us.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Definitely, mate. Let's hope it gets sorted out as soon as possible and everyone can get back to normal, because that's the main thing, isn't it? And well done as well. We'll just say well done to your other family members. I won't mention them in case I embarrass them, who are on the front line of this, and they're working very, very hard and trying to protect the rest of us. And we appreciate that very, very much. So thank you. Pass that on, please, from us.
Thanks, Johnny. I'm sure they'll be chuffed about that. Yeah.
It's true, though. Because obviously, people in the medical profession, they can't stay off work, can they? They have to go with this. So,
but as my daughter said the other day, this is what she bought into. This is what she signed up for. So it's part of the job, unfortunately. Yeah. Whenever any of us take on a job, as many of the guys watching will do later on in life, you sign up for that job and you do that job to the best of your ability. Yeah. But when you go into something like healthcare, you don't do it for money. You do it for the love of doing the job. That's why it's unlike any other career, in my opinion.
Yeah. But we're all grateful anyway, because it's a big sacrifice. Sacrifice for you guys as well. So.
Oh yes, it is for us.
We really appreciate that. So.
But you want to back them up.
And please take care anyway. I'm going to stop the video now because it's 40 minutes, I think, and it's 44 minutes, so it's going to be a massive file. I'll upload it and I'll message you guys later. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. See you later. Take care, guys. Thank you.